Poseidon is one of the most powerful Olympian gods. Although I may joke on him here and there, but these are just jokes. I actually really like Poseidon. I love his design, his lore, and of course the crazy power he has. And we are going to be using the novel, comics, some other God of War literature, and of course the games. Everything I say will be canon, so make sure to hit that like button. I'm gonna be honest, ever since I've started asking you all for likes in my videos, the channel has grown tremendously. So please, one more time, hitting that like button means the world to me. Before we get into it, here are some of the answers to the previous trivia question in the last God of War video. I thought it was gonna require more thinking, but a lot of you got it really quickly. This video's trivia question is: which God of War game has 2 secret phone numbers in them? When you call this number in real life, you actually get a skit between the director and Kratos. Type your answers now, and let's see if you get it correct at the end of the video. If you get it correct, you have a chance of being in tomorrow's video. But with that being said, let's get into how powerful Poseidon is in God of War. Before we get into his incredible powers, did you know he's actually the second strongest Olympian next to Zeus? In the God of War novel, Poseidon was so angry with Ares for putting a Hydra in his territory. Yes, the same Hydra we saw in God of War 1. Poseidon was so angry he shook the entire world. And the only other god in this series that was known to do this was Zeus. In the God of War 2 novel, when Kratos confronted Zeus after going back in time, Zeus was so angry the entire world shook. But not just that, the novel said the foundations of the entire world shook, which meant all of Hades. To calm Poseidon down, Athena said he ruled over 2/3 of everything that exists and he shouldn't be angry, to which Poseidon responded that this is true. Now, Athena mentioning Poseidon rules over 2/3 of everything is actually relevant. Did you know that the Greek world is divided into 3 sections? The underworld, the mortal world, and Olympus. Poseidon rules over 2/3 of everything, which meant even though Hades is god of the underworld, Persephone looks over the souls in Elysium, and Charon transports souls. They are all underneath Poseidon, and Poseidon is underneath Zeus himself. Now that we know his rank in the Greek world, let's talk about his weapons, then we'll get into his powers and his strength. For weapons, let's look into God of War Ascension. The weapons and descriptions are already confirmed to be canon. Now I'm gonna let the God of War Ascension trailer play out, as it clearly describes the weapons Poseidon has and what he can do and give to his champions. Assuming that Poseidon is giving his champions these abilities, we can assume that Poseidon can do it himself. But if you do want to skip it, I completely understand. It is a minute long of a trailer. There's a timestamp on your screen now. You can go ahead and go to that part. That is when this clip ends.
Poseidon, god of the sea. The advantages bestowed on warriors pledged to Poseidon stem from his strong defensive base. Their ability to absorb massive amounts of damage allows them to outlast their opponents in battle. Warriors of Poseidon's offensive strikes are punishing and relentless. Using the power of ice, these champions render their enemies helpless by slowing or freezing them in their tracks. Adding to their defensive strength, many of these abilities regenerate the health of the warrior and his teammates. A strong defense, matched with paralyzing offensive strikes, make Poseidon a god to be reckoned with.
Some other weapons we've seen throughout the God of War series include the Eye of Atlantis. Its description says it uses electrical powers to crush the spirit and body. So Poseidon's electrical attacks damages the actual spirit of the individual. Perhaps this is why in God of War 2, when Poseidon hit one of the Titans, the Titan fell, allowing Hades to take the Titan's soul. The next and final power worth noting is Poseidon's Rage. In the God of War novel, when Kratos used it, he said he was filled with rage of a god. Remember, Poseidon's rage can shake the earth, and his electricity can damage spirits of his enemies. Combined, you get a downright unstoppable attack, which we saw in the game. Also, I want to mention Poseidon didn't just call it Poseidon's rage, it was quite literally a sliver of Poseidon's rage. As it was mentioned in the God of War novel, and Ares was very angry at Poseidon for giving Kratos a piece of his own rage. Now let's get into the games and comics. This part of the video, we can actually see his true strength and what he's capable of. First, let's explore the original God of War comics. He was so upset at his champion, Poseidon summoned an entire plague to destroy his island, killing off the people who lived there. Poseidon also mentioned it was not pleasant, so he can straight up summon plagues to painfully wipe out the people who are infected. Poseidon can make incredible whirlpools that can easily destroy any ship, and he can summon sea serpents and form water avatars like horses. In God of War 2, he managed to take down Atlas with one attack. We all know Atlas is one of the stronger titans, as he can withstand the weight of the entire Greek world for all eternity. And of course, God of War 3, we see him jump and fly straight down through a titan. He also created water whips, and these whips actually tore titans off the mountain itself. And if Kratos had not intervened, he easily can overpower Gaia. As we saw, he did a lot of damage to her, even going through her insides. This shows that Poseidon, with all his powers, does not struggle against titans at all. Poseidon is incredible, from being the second strongest god, ruling 2/3 of the world, to making great weapons, to creating plagues to wipe out an entire civilization out of spite. He remains the best of the best. No god under Zeus can beat Poseidon or possess his power. He is god of the sea. He is Poseidon. I hope you all enjoyed this Poseidon power breakdown. I love finding all these things about him, and this was a really fun video to put together. Now, the answer to the trivia question is God of War 1, the very first game in this series. You can get one of the phone numbers by taking 5 minutes out of your life to attack a statue and break it while on Olympus at the very end of the game. And you can get the other one by beating the game on the hardest difficulty. Calling this phone number, you get David Jaffe doing a skit with Kratos and him congratulating you for beating the game on the hardest difficulty. And he also says that you're lame if you found this phone number in a magazine. You can call this number right now yourself if you want. However, I have not called this number in 3 years, so I don't know if it collects money from you now or whatever, but I'm not going to give you the phone number as I don't know what risk there might be. I'm sure there's no risk at all, and just me being paranoid, but you can easily find the number yourself with one quick Google search, or you can listen to the audio on YouTube, but beware, it came from a phone, so the audio is pretty damn bad. But call the number yourself. I'm sure there's no risk, but I don't want to give you the number. But that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.